So welcome back, boys and girls, to my weekly update on what is going on in my life, philosophically and also with regard to the banal occasions that the life in China brings. There's not much to say, and I'm probably also a bit surprised what is going to happen. To be honest, I had kind of a busy week, but it was not busy because I was working a lot. I actually feel that my work at university is very gracious and that I don't have to work very much. I just have to prepare classes, and I enjoy thinking about how to teach students German. I teach a little bit German literature and then German like pronunciation. And then I'm also involved in the philosophy department here, of course, because that's what I am, a philosopher. But what did I do last week? I think I mentioned already that I went out with Derek, so I would say photography is really one of my great hobbies, and we were like in the M Sky apartment, or M Sky, that's a shopping mall, and we were like on top, and he was doing a photo shoot with some of these people, and it was quite interesting. So he also wanted me to take photos. I will post them on Instagram at a certain point. That was quite interesting. I had some Japanese ramen afterwards. I really recommend Japanese ramen, but I have to say, since I have eaten Japanese ramen already in Japan, I think there's nothing that can compete with that anymore. So Chinese ramen does not match up. Also because they usually don't have so much beef here for some reason. They're more like focused on, I guess, on pork. So then I was here, this is like the place where I'm living now. So this is like a typical area, how it looks like. You have like the air condition on the side of the houses, and you see a lot of houses like this, though they are a bit more old-fashioned. And I live there because I live way cheaper, and they give me so much space, and I don't even want that space. And right now it's snowing outside, and it's warm. What do I need? I have like 2 rooms. I have 3 rooms: a living room, 2 bedrooms, a balcony, a big kitchen, a place where I can eat even. So I just want to show, like, before I lived in a modern apartment, what is considered to be modern in China. And I think this is a bit of like Chinese culture. They want to live in these modern apartment, and then they live like in these shoe boxes. I mean, it's not true for everyone. China is very diverse, of course. Um, so here I just show my room before. Let me just turn out the audio. I just took that so to show that to my landlord because there were some problems. And you see, it's very tiny, right? I mean, it's on the 25th floor. It was a nice view. It was very close to university, very central, above a bar where everybody goes. So I kind of enjoyed living there. I can arrange myself with that. So that's not particularly the problem, right? But there were other problems that also came with that, and then I just thought it was enough. And now I live in a bigger space where you can expand a bit more, and I can maybe build like more kind of a studio where I can do photography stuff or maybe recordings. So this was the room where I lived before. I maybe show next week the place where I'm living now. The problem right now is, I mean, I showed already a little. So this was also like last week I was mainly moving. That's why maybe I couldn't do so much stuff that I usually do. So this was the place before, and I believe, so that's what I wanted to say, that somehow some Chinese, not all Chinese, but maybe the younger portion, they prefer to live in these modern buildings and then also live in these smaller apartments by themselves instead of living in communities of how it is maybe in Europe, and then maybe have larger space. But yeah, that's a bit unfair maybe to say it that way. Just to show, this is my new place. It's still a bit dirty. I try to find some cleaners for that. So here it's just, I believe, before I move in. You see I have a nice balcony, nice light. And I think here I just talk about the plants. I don't know. Like, do I show there's a piano? My neighbors don't want me to play piano, so I don't want like a lot of trouble. So I don't play piano, even though that was a great passion in my life before. But you know, I feel like always when I'm a foreigner in another country, I feel like I'm representing another country, and I can never detach myself from that position. So I try to be as obedient as possible. So yeah, so I don't play piano. No piano music for you. Okay. And maybe I didn't understand them. They came to my door and they said something. I understood that the music is too loud. That's what they said. And my Chinese was not too good to capture everything. So this is a bar where I like to go. And of course, like there's so much that happened. It was Halloween. And like I like this band. They have like a German name, like Soundswerk or something like that. And let me see, I recorded some videos, but maybe they're not here. No, they're not here. Yeah, the best video may not be there. I have this Google backup. I can recommend that in a sense, but I think there are still a lot of files that have to be backed up. But yeah, you see here, I was there with my friends. There are dancers from Oscar, which is one of the clubs. And the Halloween party was really great. I can show you on my new photography channel. There's one problem. I always try to post 3, but now I cannot post one. But you see here, it's interesting pictures. And you know, if you ever want to go to America, so that's really a recommendation. Go in the week of Halloween. It's the best time in America in my mind. They have like all these house parties. People dress up like all these weeks before it's already gone. And I think that's the best season to be in America. Yeah, so I just summarized today my life. There's not much conceptual because I moved and then there was a lot going on. Oh, here's a nice video. Let's watch this video here. I think that was a well-taken video. I don't know if you hear the desktop audio. Let me just turn that on maybe. Yeah, you should hear that. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Oh, I'm not supposed to show that. So, yeah, it was a nice place. It's a nice place. A Mexican bar, and that's sometimes hard to find because like Western food sometimes does not really taste like Western food because they make it like in a Chinese way, and then it's a bit odd. Yeah, and then Derek had his birthday party, which was really good. Like the food, I thought I had eaten in Taipei before, and I thought that's like really good Chinese food. And then I ate a lot in Jinan, and I was not amazed until we went like to this restaurant. It was a seafood restaurant, and this was really amazing. Like I really enjoyed this seafood restaurant. And I'm very thankful that Derek actually invited me. And maybe give you a link to his channel. Like he does more in fashion. Like maybe we don't have the same peer group. But yeah, this food was amazing because it was so balanced. And there was a girl from Ghana, she made a cake. It was the most balanced cake I had in my life. It was a really good cake. And yeah, for the Halloween party, so I went to another Halloween party afterwards, of course. Yeah, I can just introduce you some. So this band, they are from the Philippines. And then the drummer here, that's really interesting. His name is Alex. And he plays drums really, really well. I think he's a really good drummer, according to my standards. And he's also a fighter jet pilot. And he trains pilots. And he's a good photographer too. So what do you do against that, right? If somebody can do so many things. And he lived in America. Now he lives in China. He's German. Who else should it be than a German, right? Yeah. And he dressed up as a Squid Game, which is a global trend. So they had a lot of Squid Game going on here. Also during the party at night. Yeah, this was the night where they had a DJ, I believe. It was really enjoyable. I see like it comes to an end. There's so much to show. Maybe there's too much to show. We went also to the Red Leaf Park. and we did some videos. It's probably better with music. So that's what I want to do. I want to create more like in the visual space, right? And yeah. So this is a girl. She studies something related to medicine at Shandong University, which is a good university, and that's where I also work. So maybe that's just what I want to say. I read this week with some students The Dialectic of Enlightenment, and I was quite amazed like how well bachelor students are equipped to read these classical texts. I wonder if I had been able at that age to really read that, but that's maybe also because Shandong is like one of the best universities in China. It's the best university in Shandong, and Shandong has the most difficult final exam for high school students. So it's tough. It's tough in this area because there's so many people who live here. And yeah, that was very interesting to see how Chinese people think about that. So that was definitely enjoyable. And now there's one last thing that I want to say about my channels and how I operate on them. And I'm like now at 11 minutes, so give me maybe 4 more minutes. So what do I do? So what I want to focus on in the future is more photography, right? I want to develop myself in photography. So so you see, I had this new channel because they deleted my old one. I called that Competence of Illusion, a wordplay on the illusion of competence. I want to learn photography, right? And I grew that channel like maybe in the last 3 or 4 weeks to 903 followers. And of course, you see, what I do is I also follow a lot of people, and then they follow me back. So half of them about follows me back. And what I do is I mainly followed here photographers because I say, okay, I do about photography, so maybe I want to find photographers, right? And so when I followed photographers, it had a very good effect. I think 50% of them following back is quite a good quota. And you see, I try to make that in a very visual way. And I try to create these squares of 9 photos. And that looks quite simple because you say, oh, you have these photos and then you just post them. But see, the problem is that sometimes like the arrangement just does not fit and you have to try it, and you cannot just try it on Instagram. So for example, here, I'm not very happy with these photos of Lisa, which I probably will remove because they are kind of unorderly and they don't give this sense of beauty. You may say, well, it's still beautiful or something, but I think you have to have that sense in order to create something that is, or in order to develop, right? In order to develop, you have to criticize yourself in that way. So therefore, I have a new strategy. So I need another channel, and so this also hinders my productivity because I'm always asking, is that good? Is that good? So I created a new Instagram page where I just focus on productivity, and I say that here I post every day at least 3 pictures. There's another problem with that because Instagram for some reason does not always let me post. And you see that here I couldn't post 3 pictures, and so therefore the order is out of place. Doesn't work anymore. I had very nice Halloween pictures. I believe that I had very nice Halloween pictures. Maybe you don't believe. And yeah, this was the Squid Game. I try to find more people interacting with each other, but I'm also a bit shy. But there, I could somehow do it and say, hey, it's Halloween. I take a photo of you all. And yeah, there was an interesting moment. So here I post 3 pictures every day. And my goal here, I haven't decided yet. So right now I don't follow anyone. You see, I just follow one and I got 18 followers at least, right? So what I want to do here, so here I post every day 3, and then I try to decide how to create an order. You don't see the order yet now, but now I have like a more concrete idea. And then every week I will take the 9 best and create a blog out of them and post them here once a week. Okay, so this is my weekly Instagram channel where so I decided I follow here everyone who's somehow related to photography. So I will change it a bit. Right now I just followed photographers, but I say, what the heck? Here I follow everyone or not everyone, I try to still find photographers, but if a photographer follows me, then I will follow the people who follow him, no matter whether they are photographers or not. But I assume that the people who follow this photographer, who follows me, are more likely to follow me. Do you understand what I say? So I assume like this guy follows me. That means he somehow probably likes my pictures. And now I say, if he likes my pictures and people like his pictures, then it's very likely that the people who follow him would also follow me. So that's what I try here. So I won't focus only on photographers on this one. And then there's my other channel with which I started and where I probably also changed the name, Schulz Norman, Philosophy and all the rest. I try to write philosophical texts, but come on, it's Instagram, right? Who really reads philosophical texts if they are not in the picture? So I will also focus here on photography, and it's maybe also philosophy. And I have 3,548 followers here. And so what I will do here, however, I just follow friends, and I don't want to convolute it with random follow-ups, right? But here I will follow photographers. And then sometimes I will scroll through the list and look whether I like the photographers or not. So, and then probably kick them out if I don't like them. So that the main channel is turned into something that I really like, with friends that I like to follow and with photographers. And yeah, I don't know about about this one. Maybe I should here just follow randomly and then also blow that up so that I get more followers. Maybe also interesting, or maybe I don't do anything. I mean, I can also not do the following procedure all the time, right? Maybe this is just a testing channel. So yeah, that's what I wanted to explain in order to make to myself my strategy clear. And you see here, I just have the numbers. It developed quite well. So after about 2 weeks, I had 217 followers. After 3 weeks, maybe I should put here 1. That makes sense, right? 2 and 3. And after 3 weeks, I have now 902 followers, right? And so it may be also interesting to follow these numbers for these other channels. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So Alex, my most loyal follower, even more loyal than Rolly, because Rolly follows me ever since the 2nd episode, and I believe Alex follows me since the 1st episode. So Alex said that my last episode, the 3rd episode, was a bit boring. I think this episode was also not much more interesting. It's just like telling you what's going on in my life and what are my plans. And last week I was just moving and mostly focused on photography, travel to some places, and I were teaching. So I hope next week I can come up with some more concepts that I discover during my week. So thank you very much for watching, and I wish you a nice week.